What is going on, everyone? Welcome to a Monday night edition of Major League Baseball, where tonight's matchup between the Baltimore Orioles and the Philadelphia Phillies. Hi, my name is Justin. Tonight's matchup between the Orioles and the Phillies given to you thanks to StreamYard Studios, the proud home of the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. StreamYard Studios create podcasts, videos, host virtual business meetings, and even conduct interviews. Check out their free version today at StreamYard.com. Well, first pitch is scheduled for 6:40, and we'll get you guys all ready for tonight's matchup here between the Orioles. The first place in the AL East, they're coming into tonight's game 61 and 38. And then we'll also have the second place Philadelphia Phillies 53 and 46, second place in the NL East. Now both of these teams are looking to contend in the month of October, as if the playoffs would end today, Baltimore would have the best record in American League, as they hold a 61-38, followed by the Texas Rangers, Minnesota Twins in 53 and 48, and then the three wild card spots, Tampa Bay, Houston, and Toronto. So Baltimore and Texas would have the first round bye. And then over there in the National League, we would have Atlanta Braves will have the best record in all of baseball, followed by the Dodgers 57 and 41. They will have the first two byes. Milwaukee will be 55 and 45. Cincinnati 55 and 46. Those two teams play later on this afternoon. Arizona is the fifth seed in the wild card, followed by the Philadelphia Phillies, who currently have a jump ahead over two other different teams, as they are, as if the playoffs will end today, they would make it in, but both Miami and San Francisco are neck and neck with Philadelphia. So a game like tonight can really start separating teams in that wild card position. The Baltimore Orioles came off of a series victory against Tampa Bay. Now, remember, Baltimore was the team who beat the Dodgers on the getaway day back on Wednesday last week and ended up luring themselves into first place. They took on the Tampa Bay Rays over the weekend, dropping Friday night 3-0, winning game 2 and 3, 5-6-5 and 5-3, and now they had themselves on a comfortable stretch. As if you're looking at the standings today, Baltimore has a 2-game lead over Tampa Bay in the AL East, but then it was Philadelphia, who, remember, we called Baltimore and Dodgers game back last Monday. We called the Brewers and Phillies game last Wednesday. And if you look into that one, Philadelphia went on the road to Cleveland. They dropped the series, losing Friday and Saturday, picking up Sunday's game on a final score 8-5. So both teams coming in on a winning record, but they're looking to really separate themselves in this series. Game one of a 3-game series tonight. We will have right-handed pitcher Dean Kremer on the mound for the Orioles. We'll tell you a little bit more about him as the pregame show comes to a head. As for the Phillies, we will have Cristopher Sanchez, left-handed, 26-year-old left-hander, on the mound. For the rest of the series, we will have tomorrow night, first pitch scheduled for 6:40 Eastern time. Baltimore have right-handed pitcher Kyle Gibson on the mound, taking on Taijuan Walker for the Philadelphia Phillies. And then the rubber game series Wednesday night, as the Orioles will have Kyle Bradish on the mound, taking on Texas Rangers Ranger Suarez. the only other left-handed pitcher in this series. So we're looking to have ourselves a good matchup. A game one of a 3-game series tonight. So don't go nowhere. If you guys are tuning us in on our YouTube page, want to welcome you guys. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Don't forget to have those notifications on, and so you don't miss a single episode. If you guys are watching us on or listening to us on Facebook or Twitter, hit that like button, share with a friend. Let them know that we're live now. We'll have the pregame show, and then we'll have the first pitch in the first game of this 3-game series at 6:40, followed by a post-game show immediately afterwards. So stay tuned, and all of that good stuff still to come. All right, we're going to step aside, and the pregame show continues. You guys are listening to Major League Baseball here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. We want to welcome everyone back to tonight's pregame show between the Baltimore Orioles and the Philadelphia Phillies. First pitch is underway at around 6:40 as we get you guys ready for tonight's ball game. I want to give a big shout out to Major League Baseball for providing us all the scores, stats, highlights, standings, schedules, and more. Check out all your baseball needs, everything Major League Baseball, by heading on over to MLB.com. Let's take a look at your out of town scoreboard of this afternoon, as one game is already finalized in the books. It was makeup for April 16th, and that was the Detroit Tigers hosting the San Francisco Giants. That game happened a little earlier this afternoon as the Tigers pulled away with the victory. Final score 5-1. 6:40 is the time for tonight's game between Baltimore and Philadelphia, but that's not the only game going on, because at 7 o'clock, at 7:05 exactly, Colorado is visiting Washington in Maryland. Excuse me there. They will begin their series tonight. First pitch 7:05, and then a 7:10 game between the Kansas City Royals and the Cleveland Guardians. At 7:40, you can tune in to Seattle Mariners taking on the Minnesota Twins. At 8:10, we'll have a couple of games. Texas Rangers taking on the Houston Astros. Cincinnati Reds taking on Milwaukee Brewers. The Pittsburgh Pirates and the San Diego Padres at 9:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the St. Louis Cardinals and the Arizona Diamondbacks. At 10:10, the final game of this evening, we will have the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's available on Sportsnet SNLA. Take a look at the scorecard for today and who's playing in today. A couple of games do excite me. Other than this one between Baltimore and Philadelphia, there is playoff implication, and that's what's exciting is about this. But a couple of divisional games, maybe Cincinnati, Milwaukee. It's going to be a really good divisional game. You know, the Reds are a half a game out of first place in the NL Central. And you got Graham Ashcraft taking on Colin Ray. And, Reds have not been playing well against Milwaukee throughout the course of this year. And this is the last time these two teams will be playing each other throughout the course of the season. And so far, Milwaukee has already taken all the series so far up until this one, and Cincinnati's on the road. So Cincinnati is trying to walk away out of this 3-game series that they have ahead of them, not only with the victory, but they could be in first place. And especially with their record or their schedule upcoming, as they have to fly out to Los Angeles to face the Dodgers, and then they have to also fly out to Chicago to face the Cubs at Wrigley Field. So they got their work coming out for them. Texas Rangers, Houston Astros is the free game of the day on the MLB TV. If you guys want to tune into that one, you got Gray versus Bilac. So that's going to be an interesting game. You know, the Rangers have been on top of the AL West for quite some time, so that's pretty exciting. You're taking on the Houston Astros, who's been dominating the AL West for some time as well. So a pretty interesting matchup going on out there. Toronto over and the Dodgers, a nighttime game. I'd also maybe tune into it. So we have a handful of games that look pretty interesting heading into tonight's ball game. But we have the Baltimore Orioles and the Philadelphia Phillies coming up. You guys can watch this game for Baltimore on AMASN2. Philadelphia have NBCSP. You can listen to tonight's ball game either right here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel or on the Baltimore's 98 Rock FM/HD2, 97.9 WBAL News Radio Network on FM/AM, or listen to Philadelphia's Radio 94 WIP or WTTM 1680. That is your out-of-town scoreboard given to you thanks to MLB.com. All your news, scores, updates, and more. Check out MLB.com for more information. All right, when we take our last break of the pregame show, come on back and give you a breakdown of these pitchers that we will be seeing tonight and what they have in store for us. You guys are listening to Major League Baseball's pregame show right here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Well, welcome back on tonight's pregame show on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Be sure to check out the throw-in every day, Monday through Friday, 2-hour sports broadcast right here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel, where Justin talks about local Cincinnati sports news, stories, and updates, including professional wrestling. Take a look across the board along baseball, football. As any sport you cover it, Justin will talk about it. You guys can check out the throw-in on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Be sure to check out the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel's website by heading on over to www.tncsportstalkshow.com. Excuse me, that is www.tncsportstalkshow.com. Alrighty, we are back here. We're getting ready for Baltimore and Philadelphia, game one of a 3-game series. A look at what is to come here for both sides of the squads. Injury updates here for Baltimore. Right-handed pitcher Austin Wolf is on the IL with a right elbow discomfort. Center fielder Cedric Mullins, right adductor groin strain, and left-handed pitcher Keegan Akin, lower back discomfort, all placing on the IL, and we'll see how this affects Baltimore throughout the course moving forward. You know, they have first place. They hold for first place pretty nicely. They want to hold in through the remainder, and this is a good stretch that they could be on. They're on a 1-game winning streak here. Coming into tonight's game, they're 7-3 in the last 10. On the road, they're 31-18 and 39-29 against teams above 500. As their upcoming schedule looks like as follows. After this series, they will have Thursday off as they will come home to face the New York Yankees in a 3-game series, and then before heading on the road to Toronto on a 4-game series against the Blue Jays before coming back home to take on the Mets. So for the Philadelphia Phillies side of things, they don't really have much going on as they activated back on July 21st Josh Harrison, which we will from the IL list, and you'll actually see Josh Harrison on the mound in tonight's playing third base in tonight's ball game. Updates Philadelphia schedule coming up after this series. I'll also get Thursday off as it's a travel day. They will head over to Pittsburgh on a 3-game series. Followed by that, they'll head down south to take on Miami in a 4-game series before heading back home to take on Kansas City and those Royals. So it should be a nice, easy schedule if you are Philadelphia. Like I said, I mean, Miami's in the hunt, so this is going to be a perfect opportunity for Philadelphia to head into Miami, take care of some business, and be able to get in control of that last spot of the wild card. That's what we're hoping. That's what they're hoping to do. For Baltimore side of things, like I said, they have a nice schedule coming up. Yankees, Toronto, Mets. They're going to play some tough teams that I think that they need to hold themselves to the tee. Well, hey, we got the draft. You got the trade deadline coming up. What moves are they going to make? Tonight's pitching here. You got 27-year-old right-hander Dean Kremer on the mound for Baltimore. He's 10-4 with a 4.80 ERA with 101 strikeouts as far as today. He last pitched against the Dodgers back on July 19th. He went 4 2/3 of an inning, giving up 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 walks, 1 strikeout. He has a fastball, cutter, changeup, curve, and slider, 5-pitch repertoire. For Philadelphia, we will see left-handed pitcher Cristopher Sanchez, 26-year-old. The last game he pitched was against Milwaukee last Wednesday, where he went 5 innings, giving up 6 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. He has a sinker, changeup, and slider under his repertoire. Alrighty, that will conclude tonight's pregame show here, given to you thanks to StreamYard Studios. Create podcast videos, host virtual business meetings, and conduct interviews. Check out their free version today at StreamYardTalk.com. Coming up next is the ball game between the Baltimore Orioles and the Philadelphia Phillies. Be sure to tune in to us after the game, where we'll give you a post-game show right here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. I want to thank everyone for tuning into the pregame show. And until then, you guys enjoy Baltimore, Philadelphia coming up next here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Well, it is a beautiful evening for some Major League Baseball, and it is a showdown of the Eastern. Hi, everyone. Justin here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel, coming to you tonight between the Baltimore Orioles and the Philadelphia Phillies, from Citizens Bank Ballpark in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And this is going to be a good game. Both teams are getting ready for game one of a 3-game series pitch coming up here in just a few moments. Phillies coming into tonight's game, they dropped the series against Cleveland on the road. They come back home, and I'm sure, you want to hold yourself to a pretty high standard. They come into tonight's game 53-46, second place in the NL East. But that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about the NL East here. We're talking about the wild card, because if the playoffs ends today, we will see Philadelphia as the third wild card spot behind Arizona and Cincinnati. But on the other stands, right, Miami and San Francisco are tied with Philadelphia. So this is a very important series for Philadelphia, because they want to kind of break away from the original, from this 3-way dance right now at the end of the month. And they have the schedule to do so, as they will go to Pittsburgh at the end of the week. They'll get a chance to face Miami next week in a 4-game series before coming home to take on Kansas City. So Baltimore is going to be a good challenge. It's another contending team that right now they're sitting 61-38, first in the AL East after taking the lead after beating the Dodgers last Wednesday. They took 2 of 1 against Tampa Bay over the weekend, and so Baltimore's coming in on a 2-game winning streak, trying to just continue. And it's been fun watching Baltimore play. I have to admit to that. I called the game last Monday against the Orioles and the Dodgers, and it was a really fun, exciting game that went right down to the wire. So I'm expecting to have another good one here tonight. We'll have Dean Kremer, right-handed pitcher, on the mound for Baltimore. As for Philadelphia, will send left-handed pitcher Cristopher Sanchez. We'll talk a little bit more about that in tonight's game. You guys can watch this game on MASN2, also on NBCSP. You can also tune into the game, listen to the game, 98 Rock FM/HD2, 97.9, WBAL News Radio FM/AM, or Philadelphia side, 94 WIP, WTTM 1680, or you could do it in right here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Well, my name is Justin. I'm excited to get you guys ready for this exciting ball game. Game 1 of a 3-game series between the Orioles and the Phillies. Coming up next, starting lineups, first pitch, and much more. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are listening to Major League Baseball here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Tonight's game given to you is thanks to StreamYard Studios, where you can create podcasts, videos, host virtual business meetings, and even conduct interviews. Check out their free version today at StreamYard.com. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Major League Baseball here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. My name is Justin. We call on all your play-by-play information that you need to know in tonight's ball game. Also coming up is the post-game show, which is the conclusion of tonight's ball game, as between the Baltimore Orioles and the Philadelphia Phillies. But let's get things kind of going here on the roll. The Baltimore Orioles coming into tonight's game 61-38, first place in the AL East. It's going to be a fun matchup between these two squads. Starting lineup for the Orioles, penciled in by Brandon Hyde. Batting first, left fielder Austin Hayes. Batting second, right fielder Anthony Stantinder. Batting third at first base is Ryan Bancastle. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter is Gunnar Henderson. At second base, Jordan Westberg. He'll be batting fifth. Batting sixth, the center fielder Aaron Hicks. Ramon Urias will be batting seventh. He'll be playing third base. Doing the catching behind the plate for Baltimore is James McCann. He'll be batting in the eighth spot. And batting in the ninth spot, the shortstop is Jorge Mateo. That is Hayes, Santander, Mountcastle, Henderson, Westbrook, Hicks, Urias, McCain, and Mateo. It looks like on the bench available for Baltimore, you have catcher Aldi Richmond, infielder Adam Frazier, Ryan O'Hearn, and Colton Cowser, which all of them, three of them are left-handed hitters, and one of them is a switch hitter. Decent defensive position for the Philadelphia Phillies. From left to right, playing left field is Kyle Schwarber. Out there in center field is Johan Rojas. And right field is Nick Castellanos. At third base is Josh Harrison, followed by shortstop Trey Turner. Bryson Stott is at second base. Jake Cave is at first base. And doing the catching behind the plate for the Phillies is Garrett Stubbs. For the mound for the pitchers for the Philadelphia Phillies, we saw him last Wednesday. We'll see him again. His left-handed pitcher, Cristopher Sanchez, 26-year-old left-handed. He's 0-3 with a 3.06 ERA and 30 strikeouts. Born December 12, 1969, from La Ramona, Dominican Republic. Last pitch last Wednesday against Milwaukee, where he went 5 innings, giving up 6 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, striking out 3. He has 3 simple pitches. He has a sinker, changeup, and slider to his name. We talked about it. It was either it's going to work or it's not going to work. Simple like that. Today's temperature for tonight's ball game, 86 degrees, partly cloudy. The winds are kind of breezing in out to center field. 11 miles an hour. Hopefully the ball could carry a little bit. Today is Monday, July 24th, 2023. Between the Baltimore Orioles and the Philadelphia Phillies at Citizens Bank Park. The umpires for tonight's game, calling the balls and strikes at home plate, is Will Little. Followed by first base is Lance Barkdale. Second base is Dan Marzell. And third base is Ryan Addington. As we just ready for Sanchez to throw his final pitches. The Philadelphia Phillies coming into this game, they're playing 5-5 baseball. Phillies 1-1 as they dropped the series to Cleveland over the weekend. They picked up Sunday's game. At home, the Phillies have a 26-19 record. Against teams above 500, they are 26-32. I'd like to add some more wins to that win column there. For Baltimore, they are on a 7-3 run of winners of 2 of the last 3 on a nice little 2-game winning streak. On the road, Baltimore's 31-18, and against teams above 500, they're 39-29. The Philadelphia Phillies are wearing the red tops, red bills, right stitchings on the caps. The white pinstripe, white and red pinstripes. Philadelphia Phillies has the red stitchings with the stars above the eyes that are blue. As we are ready to go. Game 1 of a 3-game series here. First pitch from Sanchez. That's up high and in for a ball 1. Baltimore Orioles are wearing the gray tops, gray bottoms, black socks, They have the orange stitchings for the names. Here's the pitch. This is popped up out to right field. And to make the grab is the right fielder, Nick Castellanos, one away. As we mentioned, both teams are looking to contend this October with the help of some nice little streaks going on. As we have Anthony Santander steps up. One away, nobody on here in the top of the first inning. Baltimore, Philadelphia, game one of a 3-game series. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's popped up on the infield. Backing up is Stutt at second base. Coming in, calling it off. It's a center fielder, Johan Rojas, who's made a tremendous run for out number 2. For a moment there, looked like Bryson Stott had the ball, backing it up into shallow outfield. He probably could have got it, and then Rojas called him off with the very last second. Here's the first pitch to Ryan Mountcastle. That's in there, called for a strike. Crew chief tonight's ball game is Lance Barkdale. This one's down low. It's 1 ball, 1 strike to Mountcastle. Mountcastle coming into tonight's ball game. We'll give you and a swing and a miss. It's 1-2. He's batting .235. As we see the bench for Baltimore, you have 3 lefties and a switch hitter against Sanchez. They're playing the lefty-righties matchup. I'm assuming we'll see a couple of scenarios where pitch hitting is acquired. Here's a swing and a miss. And a quick 1-2-3 go Baltimore here in the first. Phillies coming up to bat. We'll tell you about their lineup and all that here. You guys are listening to Major League Baseball on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. We head to the bottom of the first inning here. And starting lineup penciled in by Phillies, Rob Thompson. The Philadelphia Phillies coming in tonight's game 53-46 in second place of the NL East. Leading things off in left field is Kyle Schwarber. Batting second at shortstop is Trey Turner. The designated hitter at batting third, Bryce Harper. Batting cleanup in right field is Nick Castellanos. Bryce Stutt playing second. He'll be batting fifth. Batting sixth is third baseman Josh Harrison. Batting seventh at first base is Jake Cave. Batting eighth, the catcher, Garrett Stubbs. And batting ninth, center fielder Johan Rojas. That is Schwarber, Turner, Harper, Castellanos, Stutt, Harrison, Cave, Stubbs, and Rojas. Defensive positions for Baltimore in tonight's game. From left to right is Austin Hayes. Center fielder is Aaron Hicks, and right fielder is Anthony Santander. At third base is Ramon Urias. At shortstop is Jorge Materio. Jordan Rutsberg at second base, Ryan Mountcastle at first base, and doing the catching is James McCann for the pitcher, right-handed pitcher Dean Kremer. As Schwarber steps in, first pitch is down low for a ball. Excuse me. 27-year-old right-hander, 10-4 with a 4.80 ERA and 101 strikeouts to his resume this year. That one's on down low. It's called for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes to Schwarber. Last pitch, drafted by the Dodgers in 2016. Played for Nevada and Las Vegas. Here's the 2-0 count. That's on the outside corner, called for a strike. Kremer, last pitch last on Wednesday against the Dodgers, went 4 2/3 of an inning, giving up 4 hits, 5 runs, allowing 4 walks, 1 strikeout. Here's the 2-1, a swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Has a fastball, cutter, changeup, curve, and slider. 5-pitch repertoire to his name. Yet again, we'll call a game 1 pitch with 5 pitches, 1 pitcher with 2 pitches. This is lined right to second base to, Westberg for out number 1. Matter of fact, we called Baltimore and Los Angeles last week on Monday to kick off the series, and then we called Milwaukee and Philadelphia on Wednesday. Really enjoying calling these games. Here is Trey Turner. First pitch is up high for a ball. Here's the 1-0 count that is in there, called for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Got to clear my throat there. Excuse me for a moment. Here's the set and the pitch from Kremer. That's a fouled up and out of play along first base side. Catcher James McCann made an attempt. Hit the net. They called it out of bounds. Just 1 ball, 2 strikes. For Philadelphia on this hand, they are in second place, but they're not looking to capture the NL East. They're about 11.5 games out. So what's next? Well, they currently hold that last position in the wild card. They're tied with Miami and San Francisco, which they'll go to Miami next week. Here's the 1-2. This is grounded over to second. A toss by Westberg to first. And 2 away. So trying to hold yourself together with some wild card positions. And that's just how the NL East is going. It seems like with the best record in baseball is the Atlanta Braves. Phillies are trying to find their gap. And I think they have a nice, pretty gap in the NL East besides Miami. They're going back and forth. We talked about trying to find some hot streaks. We're in the second half of the season. Bryce Harper steps in, batting .290, 4 home runs on the season. Here's the first pitch. That's on the outside plate. 1-0. Baltimore, on the other hand, after beating Tampa Bay 2 out of 3 over the weekend, they have a 2-game lead over first place. This one's outside. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the 2-0 pitch. This is hit lined right to second. And a slip by Westberg. A backhand grab, but a slip by Westberg on the grass allowed him to slip, and he wasn't able to make the throw. So a base hit by Bryce Harper with 2 outs here in the first inning. Nice backhand grab. He literally just slipped on that left foot going to second base as he was trying to make the position to throw. And could possibly be the wet of the infield. Westberg looks okay. Coming in is Nick Castellanos. So a runner on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch to Castellanos on the outside. When was the last time you see Baltimore lead a division? Several years back. Got to give them credit. Been playing a lot of fun, interesting baseball games. This one's on the outside. 2 balls, no strikes. And if you're looking for another interesting matchup in tonight's, card games that we're looking at, Baltimore's one of them. Baltimore, Philadelphia. Look, Every game, every big scenario may be playoff atmosphere. This one's fouled back, 2 balls, 1 strike. I was talking about games to maybe pay attention tonight. One game is concluded so far, and that was the Giants and the Tigers, where the Tigers beat the Giants. That was a makeup game back in April. Tigers beat the Giants 5-1. That helps Philadelphia out. A swing and a miss, and Castellanos is down 2-2. That helps Philadelphia and Miami out. Miami has the off day today. I'll look at it. Time's called for Castellanos. He steps out of the mound. Miami also has an off day today as well. Here's the 2-2 pitch. This is fouled off. Harper went. A couple games I was keeping an eye on, Cincinnati and Milwaukee. That'll be playing in about an hour from now. Another interesting game. I love the Texas series. Rangers out front in the NL West. They're over in Houston. That's the free game of the day on MLB TV. And then possibly Toronto and the Dodgers. Here's the 2-2. This is grounded over to third. A toss over to second to Restberg to make the tag. And that will retire the side. No runs stranded. As we played 1, it's tied at 0. You're listening to Major League Baseball on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Bottom of the second inning for Baltimore. 4-5-6 is due up as Gunnar Henderson steps up to the plate. Henderson's batting .246. First pitch grounded over to short to Turner. A quick firing throw, to first. And it's in there for an out. One away here in the second. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you want more content, I have those notifications on. Major League Baseball is played throughout the course of the year here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. You can also check out The Throw-In, a 2-hour daily podcast talking sports, baseball, football, wrestling, you name it. Check out The Throw-In and more by subscribing to the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Jordan Westbrook comes up, takes the first pitch outside for a ball. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This is it. Fly ball out to right field. Going back is Castellanos to the corner, and that is gone. His first home run on the season. And Baltimore has a 1-0 lead. I mean, this was a direct line drive out to right field, just about what, maybe a couple of feet off of to the left of the foul territory side. Stepping in is Aaron Hicks. Baltimore out front 1-0. I'll get you dynamics of the game, of that home run. This one's down low at the feet. And it's simple. I think for both teams, it's getting out early. They don't, you look at Philadelphia, they have, that strong 5. There's a swing and a miss. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. And for Baltimore, they have a lot of young and upcoming players through their system. Called time for the batter. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Aaron Hicks. Definitely a veteran looking to stay in the game as long as possible. This one's on the inside corner. That was a 356 home run, foot home run. This is down low. It's 3-2 now to Hicks. He's batting .231 on the season. That was a 99-mile exit velocity, almost 100. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This is grounded to third. Harrison will get to it, throw it over the first for out number 2. And now we wait Ramon Urias. I'm just getting settled in here myself, so pardon me for my simple early on mistake. 1-0 Baltimore leads early on here for Ramon Urias. First pitch is in there, called for a strike. When you're someone like Sanchez, you only have 3 pitches. You don't really have much room to work with if you are struggling at all. This one's fouled off the third base side. We talk about the significance of having limited pitches. You don't have to overthink it. You have 1, 2, and 3 options to choose from, and you can focus on those. This one's down low. But if you have 5 pitches, such as Dean Kremer, Baltimore's pitcher, then you kind of have to take the first inning or 2 and find out which pitches you can really locate and you want to stick with throughout the course of the game. This one's fouled off. And also make sure that those pitches aren't being, your opponents can't get to. 1 ball, 2 strikes, a run in thanks to a solo home run by Jordan Westberg. 2 outs here in the second. Steps in. Sanchez sets and delivers. Down low is 2 balls, 2 strikes. Getting out to and trying to get to a early victory in this 3-game set. A swing and a miss, and Urias goes down on strikes. But not before Jordan Westberg could hit a solo home run to give Baltimore the lead. We're in inning number 2. It's 1-0 Baltimore on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. 5, 6, and 7 due up here in the bottom of the second inning. Baltimore out front early 1-0 here thanks to a solo home run back in the top half of the inning. Coming up to bat is Bryson Stott. As the first pitch is up high, called for a strike. It's 0-1. Bryson Stott, 304. Here's a pitch, fly ball, opposite side of left field, and that's going to be a grab for Austin Hayes, out number 1. Well, coming up in this series, and we're not going to be able to broadcast every game, but tomorrow, Kyle Gibson will be on the mound for Baltimore as Taijuan Walker for Philadelphia. First pitch, 6:40 Eastern Standard Time. Here's the first pitch to Harrison. It's in there, called for a strike. And then on Wednesday, the rubber game series, 6:05 Eastern Standard Time. Kyle Bradish taking on Ranger Suarez, the only other left-handed pitcher in this series. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This is grounded to third for Urias, and he'll make the throw over to first for out number 2. So, how are we enjoying so far the the new changes and the new rules to the game? I definitely enjoy how these games have sped up quite a bit. And, time scenario, I think it's, if you're calling day by day, you don't really notice. I mean, it's still the same day at the ballpark. It's just much quicker. This one's first pitch to Cave. It's fouled off. Cave's batting .211. Here's the 0-1. That's up high. Philadelphia has a good amount of good hitters in that bench tonight. JT Realmuto, Alex Bohm, and Mudo Sosa, Brennan Marsh. We're playing righty-lefty. This is hit right back to the pitcher. Underhand toss from Dean will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Phillies in the second. Baltimore's out front 1-0 here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Top of the third inning, Baltimore out front 1-0. Stepping in is James McCann. This one's fouled back, 0-1. Batting 195 with 3 home runs, 10 RBIs on the season. Here's the pitch. This is a chop foul also. So 1-2. Couple of games just getting underway. Rockies, Nationals, Royals, Guardians coming up later tonight. Seattle, Minnesota. This is shot foul again. It's still on 2. Rangers, Astros tonight at 8 o'clock. Reds, Brewers, Padres, Pirates, Cardinals, and Diamondbacks. Get you an out-of-town scoreboard later in tonight's game. This is hit, and it's going to be over the head of Stott and wind up in center field. So a leadoff hit by James McCann. And Baltimore has an opportunity to add on to their 1-0 lead here in the third. I think it's all about getting runners on, getting them around the score. And if you can do that, I'll tell you what, you're going to have a successful season. And that's what Baltimore's had so far. First pitch in is in there for a strike for Jorge Mateo. Mateo 214, 6 home runs on the season. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This is lined into short at Turner. Toss it over to second, over to first, and a double play. 6-4-3. What got me for a moment was that McCann ended up sliding a bit early to protect himself. Back to the top of the lineup, Austin Hayes coming up. He flew out back in the first inning. Here's the pitch. It's in there, called for a strike. I think it's about just getting to the pitchers, swing and a miss, 0-1. Working to the bullpen early on. Talk about hot streaks, and it's always great to have those hot streaks in the first half of the season. This one's fouled off. But it's better to have these hot streaks in July, August, September. Especially when the season's winding down, especially if you're still in contingency. Exciting game tonight. Probably would have tried to call this game if I was capable of, was the Reds and the Brewers. Cincinnati is a half a game out of first in the NL Central. And this is the last time Cincinnati's facing Milwaukee. Here's the pitch, and this one's fouled off. They will not meet again at all this year, thanks to the new format of the scheduling. This one's down in the dirt. It's 1-2. You play all 29 other ball clubs in both leagues, which means you have to play your division less. Here's the 1-2 pitch, foul tipped into the glove of Stubbs. 1-2-3, go the Phillies, or go to the Orioles. 2.5 down. It's 1-0 Baltimore on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. First pitch in, called for a strike, as we are 8, 9, and 1 due up here in the bottom of the third inning. Stubb steps up. He's batting .226. Here's the pitch. This one's hit, flied out to left center field by the 387 marker. There to grab it is Aaron Hicks for one away. Coming up in the fourth inning, we bring back trivia questions. In the fourth and eighth inning, we'll begin with the Phillies, as they are the home team tonight. Something a little fun going through tonight's ball game. Johan Rojas steps up. First pitch is in there, called for a strike. He's batting .273 with 2 RBIs. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This is hit. Fly ball out to center field again. Coming over, diving, making the grab is Aaron Hicks, as he lands on his catching hand. Hopefully he's okay out there. But there is 2 outs, as he held on to that one. It was a nice diving play. And we get trainers going out there, and Brandon Hyde, nice diving play. He smacks, lands that down. Oh, okay. We're gonna, I think, another camera angle, as trainers are checking on Hicks out there in center. He's kind of holding his left upper hip. I thought it was his catching hand to begin with. He's kind of limping now. I thought it was his catching hand when he came down on the dive. But there looks like there was maybe a quad or something. So looks like he's going to be replaced out of the game. Colton Cowser will replace Aaron Hicks. And I thought, like you said, when he caught the ball, that it was him, it was the way that he landed on his left wrist. But apparently it was his, he's holding his left side, and that's what seems to be hurting. So he'll be taken out of the game. But the other interesting thing is that did he actually hold on to it coming down? Did he actually make the grab? Second base umpire barred it, called it for an out. And we'll see from Philadelphia what they potentially try to do. So Colton Cowser will go ahead and replace Aaron Hicks, and he will be batting 6th. Alrighty. Well, we're back to the top of the lineup, and this one, I guess this wasn't out. I thought maybe they look at this again. But we have Kyle Schwarber, who grounded out back in the first, who takes the first pitch 0-1. Kremer sets and delivers. That's down low. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. This is a swing and a miss for a strike 2, 1-2. I hope Aaron Hicks is doing okay. We wish him the best of luck. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Here's a 1-2 pitch. That's down there in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Philly trying to get something going here in the third. 2 away, nobody on. Here's the 2-2. That's also down low. That was also a changeup. Mainly the curves and changeups at this at bat. Pitch number 6. Here's the 3-2. That's bouncing the dirt before the plate. And Schwarber has thrown himself a walk. I think at this moment, maybe Philadelphia kind of changes the pace of play, keep it in their line of work. Decent crowd here at Citizens Bank Park. Trey Turner comes up, grounded out to second, back in the third. A runner on first, 2 away. Kremer sets. Here's the pitch. This is hit, lopped out to left field, coming over to the foul line is Santander, and he'll make the grab. Well, a runner stranded, and no runs come across. We play 3. Orioles up 1-0 here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Orioles up front 1-0 here in the top of the 4th inning. Given to you in the top of the 4th inning is useful trivia. Given to you thanks to useful trivia is our trivia question of the day for the Philadelphia Phillies. Who caught Terry Mulholland's no-hitter on August 15th, 1990? This one's in there up high for a called strike or for a called ball for Santander. Is it A, Darren Dalton, B, Bo Diaz, C, Ozzie Virgil Jr., or D, Mike LeBerthold? It's 1-1 now, the count to Santander. We'll tell the answer at the bottom of the 4th inning. You could lock in your answer by commenting on our YouTube page, heading on over to TNC Sports Talk YouTube page. I think, first of all, you would have to know a little bit about Philadelphia Phillies and know who Tony Mulholland, a little history about no-hitters there. It's 1-2 strikes the count to Santander. And inning number 4, Aaron Hicks was removed from the game. Colton Cowser steps in. He'll be batting in the 6th spot. This is down low. It's 2-2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. This one's fouled also. Here's the pitch. This is down low. And Santander's worked himself to a full count. This one's fouled off again. 3-2 strikes. Not a lot of action here early on. It's 1-0. Sanchez sets. Here's the 3-2. This one's another fouled ball. Here's a 3-2. This is hit right to Turner. He fumbles it. No play. And he will reach safely. Santander will reach safely at first. And this was a nice hard hit right back to Turner. Let's see how they're actually going to score this E6. And he kept it in front of him, tried to backhand it to throw for his throw, and ended up getting away from him. So leadoff is on, but they will rule this out as an E6 for Ryan Mountcastle. Here's a pitch. Those are hit right back to Harrison at third. Throws it over to second. He'll get the out. Over to first. No go. So you get the force out at second. Mountcastle will be at first, though. 1 away. We'll do this all over again. It'll be a 5-4 putout on that play. Stepping in is Gunnar Henderson. He grounded out back in the second. So it's a 1 on, 1 out. Here's the pitch. That's in there, called for a strike. Sanchez sets. And here's the 0-1. That's in there, called for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2. That's on the outside. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Only home run scored is by the home run by Jordan Westberg back in the second. He'll be due up next. This one gets away from Stubbs. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. This one's popped up high in the infield. Coming in is first baseman Caves to make the grab, and 2 away. And you know what would be interesting, and overall in this scenario is that, you get out of this jam, which Philadelphia definitely needs. Definitely get back down to the bottom half of the inning and be able to get some runs in. A good outing by Sanchez so far. He's only 51 pitches in here in the fourth inning. I think they would like to see if he could go 6-7 innings. He's been averaging about 5 innings a game. This first pitch is in there to Restberg for a called strike. 1-for-1. The only other person with the hit on the record is McCain. This one's fouled off. It's 0-2. A very nice night at Citizens Bank Park. And a solid crowd to say between the game one of a 3-game series between these two teams. This is chop foul, first base side, diving attempt by first baseman Cave. First base umpire Lance Barkdale says it's a foul ball. So it's no balls, 2 strikes as Westberg steps back in, lays the bat over his right shoulder or left shoulder, excuse me. Sanchez sets, and it's in the dirt. Stubbs able to hold on to it. It is 1 ball, 2 strikes. A little dancing there by Jake at the plate, or Jordan, excuse me. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sanchez sets. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And Jordan goes down on strikes to end the inning. You leave a man run off of an error. Orioles still leads 1-0 here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Bottom of the fourth inning, 1-0 ball game. As Baltimore's up front 1-0. Bryce Harper having a conversation with home plate umpire. As he digs into the plate, Kremer sets and delivers. This one's hit right to second to Jordan. A toss over to first, and just like that, one's away. I got to be honest with you for a moment. This Bryce Harper, for me, doesn't seem to be this very dangerous, hitter as, you would worry about maybe pitching to. And maybe that's because you have a guy like Nick Castellanos mixed in with Trey Turner and Kyle Schwarber. I mean, it's still a dangerous five. I just, I've seen these pitchers lately just pitch right ahead of him. First pitch in there to Castellanos, a strike. Tonight's trivia question presented by Useful Trivia. Who caught Terry Mulholland's no-hitter August 15, 1990? This one's down to the dirt. It's 1-0. Is it A, Darren Dalton, B, Bo Diaz, C, Ozzie Virgil Jr., or D, Mike Lieberthal? To tell you the answer for here in a second. This one's shot foul. I'm going with B, but we'll let you know after this batter. One ball, two strikes to the Castellanos. One out, nobody on here in the fourth inning. Here's the pitch. That's up high. It's 2-2. Been a quiet night offensively for both teams. Here's 2-2. It's down low in the dirt. That means there's great pitching, right? From both pitchers, Sanchez and Kremer. Two balls, two strikes. Here's the pitch. That's also down low. Castellano walks. Second walk of the night given up by Kremer. And I guess you don't think too much into it. You got the first out, which is great. Now you kind of pitch a little bit carefully against, you pitch a little bit carefully against the other batters. Bryson steps up. Now you could go back and try to get yourself into a ground ball or a double play in that factor. Or just punch out the next two guys. 0-1 to Stutt. He flew out back in the second. That's bounced in the dirt. It's 1-1. Phillies looking to get a run in here in this inning. 1-0 Baltimore. That one's on the outside corner. Injury update for Aaron Hicks. He leaves the game due to a injured leg on his diving attempt. So hopefully he's okay. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That's a swing and a miss. And Stutt goes down on strikeouts. And 2 down. I think when you come back and you look at this pitch scenario, you get Harper out, you pitch carefully to Castellanos, and you don't give him anything to hit, and then Stutt goes down on strikeouts. So now you have Josh Harrison coming up, and you don't have to really worry about, you could just pitch straight to Harrison. First pitch is in there on the outside corner, called for a strike. Answer to tonight's ball game is A, Darren Dalton. This one's flied out to right field. Anthony Santander made the grab to retire the side. Dalton's breakout season was 1990, his first as a Phillies full-time catcher, who caught Terry's Mulholland's no-hitter August 15, 1990. That is today's trivia question. If you answered it correctly, thank you guys for playing. Join us back in the 8th for the Baltimore Orioles trivia question. Baltimore leads 1-0. You're listening to Major League Baseball here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. First pitch in there to Colton Cowser is in there for a strike. The 0-1 pitch is also in there for a strike. Welcome back, top of the 5th inning. 1-0 Baltimore leads. Here's the 0-2 pitch. This one's grounded to second. Stutt throws it over to first for out number 1. Time to give you an out-of-town scoreboard look here as we begin the 5th inning, 1 away. And games currently in action thanks to MLB.com. Get your scores, news, schedule, highlights, standings, anything Major League Baseball you can find at MLB.com. First swing and a pitch, swing and a miss for Ramon Urias. With 1 down here in the 5th. Here's the 0-1 count that's in there. The only game that's being completed made up for April 16th was the Giants and Tigers. 0-2 pitch. This is grounded to first. That's going to get past the first baseman. And a 1-out base hit for Urias here. That's just a ball taking it opposite direction down the line. Nothing much to it. So James McCann steps up. He's 1 for 1. He singled back in the 3rd inning. But the Tigers beat the Giants 5-1. Like I said, that was a makeup game. First pitch is in there for a ball. Or first strike, 0-1. That was a makeup game for back from April 16th. Games currently in progress. Rockies and Nationals are scoreless in the top of the 4th. This one's down low. It's 1-1. Kansas City has a 2-0 lead against Cleveland, who took the series over Philadelphia over the weekend. They're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Seattle and Minnesota just getting underway. This is check swing, chop foul. It's 1-2. Reds and Brewers warming up. First pitch is 8:10 Eastern time, followed by the game of the day between the Rangers and Astros. Games coming up later tonight, Pittsburgh and San Diego at 9:40. St. Louis and Arizona after getting swept by the Reds. The Blue Jays and Dodgers at 10:10 is the final game of tonight. Another throwback over to first base. That's twice now for Chris Sanchez. And now on a 1-2 count, Urias has an opportunity to run. That's a nice lead, knowing that pickoff again is limited. A swing and a miss for Urias for a foul tip called for a strike. And McCann goes down on outs. Some confusions of what's happening at home play. That's what I'm also trying to see. Home plate umpire said it was a foul tip into the glove. And that's what they're going to leave it as there. Jorge Mateo steps up, 2 away, runner on first. I don't know. This game feels a bit off so far. This one's on the outside plate. It's 1-0. Here's the 1-0 count. This one's hit. That's going to line fumbles away from Turner, who was definitely more worried about making the play. And another error on Turner tonight, as Mateo will be safe on first. Second. This is a nice ground ball from Turner. He's moving his way to second base a little bit, has plenty of time. And he let that one slip. So another error. This is going to be an E6. And with 2 outs, we're back to the top of the lineup and Austin Hayes. Hayes is 0 for 2. I think, this was nice in his glove. I think the transition from his glove to his hand, a little bit off, but he was more worried about making that play than to make the defensive catch. As this one's in there for a strike for Hayes. So with that, runners on first and second, 2 away. And here's the 0-1 that's in there, called for a strike. It's 0-2. Sanchez about to throw his 69th pitch of the game. Would like to get out of this inning. Here's the 1-0 or 0-2. That's on the outside. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. We mention this almost every game. It's simple mistakes. Fundamental baseball, 90% of the time will win you games. It's a swing and a miss at a ball down in the dirt. Stubbs tags Hayes to confirm the out. Couple men get stranded, no runs across. We're halfway through this ball game. Baltimore and Philadelphia on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Bottom of the fifth inning here in Philadelphia as Baltimore has a 1-0 lead for the 7th, 8th, and 9th due up. Jake Cave, who is 0 for 1. And if baseball ends today, we talked about this a little bit before. Baltimore will go in with the best record of the American League as the first pitch to Cave is a chop foul first base side for a strike. Counts actually 1-1. I missed that earlier on, so my mistake. Baltimore would have that lead. Texas will follow behind as they're about to face Houston. Here's the 1-1 count. That's 0-1-2, or 2-1, excuse me. And then Minnesota will hold the Central 53-48. The wild card positions, Tampa Bay has that comfortable spot as that first wild card spot. This is 3 balls, 1 strike to Cave. Then Houston and then Toronto, who's cut down. This is in there. Called for a strike. It's 3-2. Cave didn't really like it. Phillies a quite testy, challenging home plate umpire, Will Little. Here's the 3-2 payoff pitch. This is hit, fly ball out to center field, coming in for the diving catch. And not making it is Santander. Whoa. I thought he made the grab. And it looks like manager Brandon High is going to ask to challenge that play. And that was inches. Inches, I tell you. I thought he caught that. I mean, and they're going to take a look at it. Second base umpire Dan Merzel said that this was not a catch. And, this one goes back to maybe the Aaron Hicks one as that diving play where you had Aaron Hicks. That ball, I don't think was a catch in my opinion. But Baltimore's elected to challenge, and I would beg to differ. This is in the glove, in my opinion. I guess we'll have to see. And if not, this is a really good call by second base umpire. We'll see if they overturn this one. And it's hard to tell. This would be a leadoff hit for Philadelphia, something that they need. And if the top of that lineup is not going to get nothing going, maybe that bottom of the lineup. And if you notice the bottom of the lineup, they don't really have, you talk about people who's placed on, you have JT Realmuto on the bench, Alec Bohm getting the night off, Sosa getting the night off, Marsh, they may be asked later on in the game, but you really, don't have much more down at the bottom. And so you really need to get something going here as we creep through the second half of this ball game. Well, we talk about in position as a wild card, Toronto would be taking on Minnesota, and Houston will be taking on Tampa Bay if the playoffs win today. Contending wise in the American League, Boston is in New York's 2 games back of the Toronto Blue Jays in the wild card. The Angels are 4 games, Seattle 4.5 games, and Cleveland 5.5 games. In the National League, Atlanta has a nice dominating record, 64-34, controlling all of Major League Baseball with best record of Major League Baseball. The Dodgers are right behind them, so I'll have the 4-game bye. Milwaukee is currently in first place in the Central, but Cincinnati's a half a game back. They sit around the similar record, minus a game on the losing streak. Arizona's 54-46 after a 3-game sweep by the Reds. Philadelphia currently holds the last spot of the wild card, 53 and 46. Currently, they would make it in, but if Miami and San Francisco is tied, and this was not overturned, the challenge on the field was not overturned, and manager Brandon Hyde was not too happy about it. I guess there was not enough evidence, so we will have Jake Cave leading things off at first base for Garrett Stubbs. And Baltimore will lose their challenge. And here's the first pitch, a bunt back at the plate. Throws it over to second. No play. But second baseman Jorge Mateo goes down. Actually, the shortstop, Jorge Mateo. And it looked like Jake Cave kind of slid right into Mateo, who was on second, kind of got his left shin. And he's currently down on the ground. Yeah, his cleat, the top of the right cleat, as Cave was sliding, got the shin, the left shin. The right cleat got the left shin of Mateo. So that's a 1-6 put out. We know that for a fact. We'll see how Mateo works. It looks like maybe a bruise. Hopefully he stays in the game. God forbid he has to be taken out. We've already used Kowser. See another infielder having to be used. That bench is running a pretty bit thin for tonight's ball game. You know, just as much as we talk about how crucial this game is for Philadelphia to keep in the hunt of the wild card early on, I know we're only in July. This is also very crucial for Baltimore because Tampa Bay is a dominant team. They're finding dominance, but Baltimore needs to continue with their, with their hot waves. 2-game lead over Tampa Bay, and it's easy to fall behind, and you drop a series to a team like Philadelphia, you could definitely turn around. We have an injury delay here. I'd like to take this time to give a shout out to our good friends at Armchair Booking Wrestling Podcast. If you guys into professional wrestling, WWE, AEW, TNA, Ring of Honor, whatever you know, Dwaylen Davis, Steve Barber does a great job talking about all professional wrestling. Check them out on YouTube at Armchair Booking Wrestling Podcast. You could also download them and listen to them anywhere you go. Mateo is going to stay in the game. He's kind of bruised up. We'll see if they take him out halfway through at some point later in this game. Johan Rojas will come up. So runners on first, one away here in the 5th inning. And Rojas is 0 for 1. Kremer's at 57 pitches in the 5th inning. Baltimore leads 1-0. Here's the first pitch that's outside for a ball. So playoffs will start today. Philadelphia will head over to Milwaukee for a weekend series. Arizona will take on Cincinnati. On the outside looking in, as this one's outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Miami and San Francisco are tied with Philadelphia, but they made the cut. Chicago's 5 games out. Padres are 5.5 games out, and the Mets are 7 games out, as the Mets are 18.5 games out of the NL East. A swing and a miss from Rojas. It's 2 balls and no strikes. We talk about Aaron Hicks, who came out earlier into tonight's game after a diving catch in center field, and then a potential injury from Jorge Mateo. Right-handed pitcher Austin Volth is out on a 15-day DIL with right elbow discomfort. Center fielder Cedric Mullins is also out, so losing another outfielder wouldn't do good as this one's fouled back. There's a right adductor groin strain. And left-handed pitcher Keegan Akin lower back discomfort. That's what Baltimore wants here at the end of July as a times called for the batter. Kremer leads Baltimore with 10 wins on the season, most so far. This is outside ball, gets away from James McCann. Advancing 93 is Garrett Stubbs. This is a ball before the plate, bounces off the glove of McCann, rolls over to the first base dugout. Good thought for McCann to, ball location. Here's a 3-2. This is hit right through the right side gap. Holding at third is Stubbs. And runners are going to be on the corners with one away. Some nice 3-2 protection, taking it, splitting the gap on the right field side between first and second. Stubbs now looking to risk it all, and when you have right fielder Santander playing pretty in, that would be a nice play at the plate. So we're back to the top of the lineup. Kyle Schwarber steps up. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. As Kremer is on a little bind here in the fifth. Runners on the corners, one away. Here's the pitch. It is down low for a ball. And this is the Phillies lineup that Kremer, hey, you got to pitch. You got one out. You got to pitch to somebody. You're hoping that you get yourself into a double play, right? But you got to pitch to, Schwarber. You got to pitch to Turner. But, hey, you know what? You gotten them out so far. Pick off, attempt back at first. Kremer sets. Here's the pitch. Rojas goes. A throw over to second, not in time. Head first dive by Rojas. And now runners in scoring position with one out. Well, anything to get the runners over. And for Philadelphia, Trey Turner leads that. That's Rojas' second stolen base of the season. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Set check swings. He went around, called for a strike. It's now 1-2. Phillies trying to capitalize on a couple of mistakes here in this inning. Kremer sets 1-2 count. This is hit, popped up center field, coming over. It's Kowser calling it off. Here comes Stubbs, and he'll score, tying this ball game apiece. So a nice sacrifice fly by Schwarber, and we're back 1-1. We're short, you would have, if you didn't get a run scored in this one, you would have really been a disadvantage to the Phillies nice sacrifice play. You just got to get the ball up in the air and out there in the outfield. So Scherber's done a pretty good job scoring in Stubbs, who attended base off of a fielder's choice. First pitch in there to Turner's on the outside, 1-0. Stubbs, remember, reached safely at first due to a double play attempt where Cave kind of slid in and hit his cleats into the shin of Mateo. This one's fouled back. It's 1-1. And Mateo's okay. He's in the game. But then you had a wild pitch that advanced Stubbs up to second. A single to right from Rojas advances him to third. A stolen base from Rojas. And Rojas is on second. And a sacrifice fly, RBI fly out. Scoring Stubbs. A swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Kremer sets. Here's the 1-2 pitch. In there, called for a strike. Turner didn't like that. Talking with home plate umpire. Fans aren't liking that either, but he gets ringed up. That was a little down low. But a run on 2 hits. And we're all knotted up after 5. We're at a tie ball game here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube. We're headed to the 6th inning, and Trey Turner, after arguing balls and strikes, he gets ejected out of the ball game, and Imundo Sosa will replace him at shortstop. And man, this is after a look on the play, that was a little far down, but I gotta say, it has been one interesting game. So he exits 0 for 3 on the night, stepping in, and the first pitch into Santander is on the outside for a ball. Sanchez is back in, working the 6th inning. So far, he's allowed 3 hits. Now, pitch number 72 is up high. Here's the pitch. That's up high. Fly ball out to center field. Making run for it is Rojas, and he'll make the grab. One away. Stepping in is Mountcastle, who's 0 for 2. This one's hit. Fly ball out to center field, going back and into the bushes. And just like that, Baltimore gets their run back and goes out front 2-0. Mountcastle, his 12th home run on the season to straightaway center. This one's just hang right over the plate just a little bit. Takes this 451 feet and 112-mile exit velocity. As the first pitch in there to Henderson is down low for a ball. Here's the 1-0 that's in there, called for a strike. Well, now you look at it and you maybe figure that, all that hard work Philadelphia put in the fifth goes to the wayside. This is chop foul. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 count. This one popped up right to third baseman Harrison for out number 2. First pitch is lined right to Sosa at short. Throws it over to first, and he will retire. Resberg will make the third out of the inning, retiring the side. Not before a run scored by a Ryan Mountcastle solo home run. Baltimore is out front 2-1 here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. First pitch here in the bottom of the sixth inning for Bryce Harper is down low for a ball, 1-0. Welcome back here to Major League Baseball here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. The 1-0 pitch is on the outside. It is Harper, Castellanos, and Stutt due up. Trey Turner ejected from the game. Here's the 3-0 pitch to Harper. That's in there for a called strike. Yeah, I'm going to put Aaron Hicks injured. Try to keep up to date with my scorecard here. Inning number, bottom half of the sixth inning. This is fouled back. And so Kremer's worked himself to a 3-2 count. Pitch number 76 due up. So far, Kremer's through 5 innings, only striking out 2. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Kremer. Time's called from the batter. 2-1. Here's the 3-2 pitch. This is grounded to second. Resberg has it, throws it over to first, makes the grab. 1 away. So here's a fun question to ask. What does both ball teams need? We got 1 week before the trade deadline, which is next Monday. But who needs what? I mean, if you look at Philadelphia, they have the 1 through 5, 1 through 6 all lined up. It's a fly ball out to center field. Moving over to his left is the center fielder, but you'll have right fielder Stan Tender will get to it in time. 2 up, 2 down here in the 6th. But when we talk about who needs what needs what, I think we talk about, Baltimore. I mean, I think both could use definitely another at bat. This one's right down the middle for a strike. It's 0-1 to Stutt. Nobody on, 2 outs. Here's the 0-1 count. It's a swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Maybe another defensive player. I'm looking at the Orioles lineup right now. Possibly another outfielder, depending on when Mullins gets back. If not, some guy out of maybe another person out of the bullpen. This one's down low. It's 1-2. Maybe another infielder for utility bench player for Philadelphia. It's kind of hard. You have this team that's had this successfully taking you where you are now. How do you grow on it? I think a lot of teams can argue that they want pitching. This one is outside. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. As the sun sets here at Citizens Bank Park. Cloud sky turns dark blue. This one's fouled off. Here's the 2-2 pitch. A swing. This one's also fouled. $83 pitches. Most pitch was in the 5th. Just 21 pitches here. Nobody on. 2 outs. 2-2 pitch. Here's the play. This one's hit right to Resberg at second. A nice sliding stop. Throws it over to first and makes the grab. 1, 2, 3 go the Phillies. After 6, Baltimore's out front 2-0 here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. We head to the top of the 7th inning here. Baltimore out front 2-1. And so far in tonight's game, been very quickly 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for Baltimore, as Philadelphia has 1 run, 3 hits, and 2 errors, both given by Trey Turner in at shortstop. And that's how tonight's game has been played. First pitch was in there, called for a strike. This one's out in the way to Colton Cowser, the center fielder. It's 1-1. Both pitchers pitched through 6 innings. Very good outing for both of them. This one's off the leg of Cowser. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cowser's walking it off. He swung and it fouled onto his leg. Back leg, matter of fact. Ooh. Oh, his back knee, it looked like. Gosh, doesn't look so good. He steps in. Sanchez, much better outing than last time. This was swing and a foul. It was fouled off. It's 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a swing and a miss. And they're on strikes for out number 2-1. Coming up in the 8th inning is the Baltimore Orioles trivia question. Rockies up 4-0 against the Nationals in the bottom of the 6th. So is Kansas City over Cleveland. First pitch in there to Ramos, who singled and struck out. Ramon. Oh, yes, excuse me. This one's outside. It's 1-1. Seattle and Twins are scoreless halfway through the 4th. Rangers have a 2-0 lead over the Astros in the top. This one's grounded out to Stotts at second. And out number 2, just like that. Milwaukee has an early 1-0 lead. Padres, Pirates up later on. Cardinals, D-backs, 9:40, first pitch. The Blue Jays and Dodgers. At the rate of this game, we may be done before the Padres and Pirates game even starts. This one's hit, fly ball out to right field. That's just going to get cut into the foul territory. It's 0-1. James McCann 0-1-2. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This is fouled back. Though Baltimore will be hosting New York, they're going to have a tough run of the schedule as they get Thursday off to go home to face the Yankees on a 3-game series. Next stop after that will be in Toronto, followed by coming back home for the Mets. This is down low. It's 1-2. So a series like this one in Philadelphia, probably needing to get out to an early lead, possibly take the series. Yankees always dangerous. Here's the 1-2, a swing and a miss, and McCann goes down on strikes for the second time tonight. 1-2-3, go Baltimore. 7th inning stretch here at Citizens Bank Park. Baltimore's out front 2-1 here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Bottom of the 7th inning, Kremer's back at it again. Harrison, Cave, and Stubbs due up here. As Baltimore is out 1-0 here in the 7th inning. As first pitch is hit, grounded out to second base. Westberg throws it over to first, and that's out number 1 to begin the bottom of the 7th. Man, second baseman's been working hard for a long run here for both teams. Tonight's ball game starting Westberg. A lot of ground balls their way. Kremer's easing it through. 6 1/3 of an inning, 2 strikeouts, 1 run allowed. As Cave steps up. Cave is 1 for 2. This was outside for a ball. Here's the 1-0. This is chop foul, first base side. And this has been a pitching duel, if you want to call it one. And I mean, I like it. I like how quick the game's gone, and I like hey, get in there, pitch to them, and not really get into any situations. This is fouled back. It's 1-2 to Cave. Both Kremer and Sanchez working into the 7th inning. This one's checks is called out, looking out number 2. That's his 3rd strikeout of the night. Stepping up is Garrett Stubbs, who is 0 for 2. Kind of been all night with the plate calling all over the place. Leaks has been consistent with it. That's down low for a ball. Philadelphia and their schedule, on the other hand, like I said, they'll be going to Pittsburgh. This one's fouled. This one is down low, 2-0. Excuse me. I'm ahead of myself. 3-game series this weekend against Pittsburgh. There's the 2-0 pitch that's lying along the first base side, just foul. Then they'll take off to Miami. Before coming home to play Kansas City. Here's the 2-1. This is fouled back. It's 2-2. This one's down in the dirt at the knees. Three balls, 2 strikes to Stubbs. Rojas is up next. He's the only one who scored. Only run scored for Philadelphia tonight. Here's the payoff pitch. This one's popped up. Third base size coming over his third baseman, Urias. And he'll make the grab in foul territory to make out number 3. After 7, Baltimore's out front 2-1. Listen to Major League Baseball on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Cristopher Sanchez is done for the night as he goes 7 innings, allowing 4 hits, 2 runs coming in. New pitcher Jeff Hoffman, as we are heading into the 8th inning, down by 1 run. In 23 games, Hoffman is 3-2. His ERA is 2.81 in 25 innings. His strikeout to walk ratio is 34-11. He's striking out 34 batters. Last pitched against Cleveland yesterday. Gave up 1 hit and 1 walk. First pitch is in there, called for a strike. Useful trivia for Baltimore coming up here in this inning. Stay tuned. After the first out. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This is a fly ball out to center field. Coming in is Rojas, and out number 1 for Mateo here in the 8th. Useful trivia question brings you trivia time. Baltimore trivia question tonight is by Useful Trivia, where all your trivia question needs. Head out to usefultrivia.com. Which Baltimore Orioles manager was ejected from a record 91 games? First pitch in, swing and a miss to Austin Hayes. Is it A, Hank Bauer, B, Mike Hargrove, C, Earl Weaver, or D, Paul Richards? He's 0 for 3, swing and a miss. He's 0-2 now in the count. Which Baltimore Orioles manager was ejected from a record 91 games? A, Hank Bauer, B, Mike Hargrove, C, Earl Weaver, or D, Paul Richard? You can submit your answers in the comments below. Answers will be revealed at the bottom half of the inning. Here's the pitch. It ends there. Called for a strike. And 2 up, 2 down here in the 8th inning. Nice placement by Stubbs there. Got to give him credit. Brings in Anthony Santander, who's also 0 for 3 tonight. Both Baltimore's runs was by solo shots to Ryan Mountcastle. Had his solo home run to right field. And Jordan Westberg had one straightaway center. As Santander looks at a first pitch ball 1. He's 0 for 3. Here's the 1-0. It's fouled off. I'm thinking this one, Hank Bauer. I like that one. I like A. Although, like I said, if you're a Baltimore Orioles fan, you'd probably know a little bit more about that. Here's the 1-1 pitch. This is a chop foul back to the screen. It's 1-2. Be sure to tune in to the Throw-In weekday 2-hour podcast about all sports, things sports, in Cincinnati, covering Reds, baseball, Bengals, professional wrestling, and more. Right here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Santander called for times. Here's the 1-2. This is fouled away. Hoffman sets. Here's the pitch. This is a swing and a miss. Oh, they called it a foul. Instead, Stubbs didn't hold on to it, so he'll get another crack at it. It's been a busy night down there at home plate. Here's a pitch. This one, another foul off. Phillies running out of options, 6 outs remaining. Down by a run. This is another foul tip. It's 1-2. 2 outs, nobody on here in the 8th inning. It's been a nice quick ball game. 2 hours into it so far. Hey, but hey, I'm not complaining. Here's the 1-2. That's up high. It's 2-2. Pitch number 9 coming up. Here's the 2-2. That's on the outside. And down low, it's 3-2. Santander worked himself to a full count after a couple different battles. Ryan Mountcastle, home run back in the 6th inning. He's up next. If Santander can get on base, this is another fouled off. Whether you win or lose, I say if you throw anything more than 6 pitches in and at bat, regardless of you getting out or not, I consider that a win. And pitch number 11 to Santander is coming up. Here's the 3-2. A swing and a miss, and Santander goes down on strikes. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning with 6 outs remaining for Philadelphia. They're trailing 2-1 here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Danny Colomb, left-handed pitcher, 33-year-old veteran, coming up to get the 8th inning started off for Baltimore. He's 3-1 with 41 strikeouts and a 2.91 ERA. Born in St. Louis, Missouri, drafted in 2012 by the Dodgers from Texas Tech. Last pitched on Saturday in Tampa Bay. Went 2/3 of an inning, giving up 2 hits, 1 earned run. As he steps in, and the night will be done for Dean Kremer, who went 7 innings, giving up 3 hits, 1 run, walking 2 batters, and striking out 3. First pitch in there to Rojas, 9-1-2. It's down low inside for a ball. Johan Rojas, who flew out and singled. It's in there for a strike. Baltimore trying to hold off and pick up their third win in a row. Here's the pitch. It's lined right to third. Stumbling it is third baseman Urias. And it will be a base hit for Rojas, making that 2 hits. And tonight's line score. Well, a nice hard hit that just reflected off for Urias. And with nobody out, the leadoff runners on first. First pitch in there to Schwarber is on the outside for a ball. Top of the lineup here in the 8th inning. He's 0 for 2. He did have an RBI flyout back in the 5th, scoring in the only run of the game, and that was Garrett Stubbs. This is fouled along the first base side. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Not a lot of production at the top of the lineup here. Matter of fact, the only hit, he had 2 walks, and the only hit was from Bryce Harper. Colum sets. Deals. That's down low for a ball. It is 1 ball, 1 strike. A pickoff attempt back at first. Standing up is Rojas. Now, Rojas also stole second base. His last on base back in the 5th inning. Here's the 2-1. Here's the pitch. Rojas goes. It's in there for a strike. Sliding it safely. Gets away out into center field. There to stop it at second base is Westberg. So Rojas will stay on second, but that is considered as a stolen base. Nice throw by McCann. Gets away from Mateo at short. So with a runner now, the tying runs at second. That is his 3rd stolen base of the season. 2-2 count to Schwarber. This one's up high and in. Some new life for Philadelphia here in the late going. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Up next is Emudo Sosa. Turner got ejected, striking out back in the 5th. Here's the 4-3-2. Excuse me. That's ball 4 down in the dirt. And for the second time tonight, Schwarber has walked. That's interesting. You got the go-ahead run on first, the tying run on second. Here's a mound visit by pitching coach Chris Holt. Sosa. Okay, a little bit. First at bat of tonight's ball game. He's left-hander. Or he's right-hander. So this is going to work extremely well. He has 6 home runs, 20 RBIs. He's from Panama. 27-year-old from Panama. He's batting .250. He last played back on Saturday night. He went 1 for 1 as he pitched hit. He walked. He went 0 for 2 on the night of Wednesday against Milwaukee. So he's not an everyday bat player. He's stepping in, taking over Trey Turner's spot. Runners on first and second. No one's being held on. A step off for Colum. And there's nobody out in this inning, so it's a nice little tackle on here. Shows bunt. A bunt failed. Called for a strike. It's 0-1. Got Harper up next. He's 1 for 3. So just like that, things become a bit more interesting. Show bunt again. This one's down to the dirt. He pulls back in time. It's 1-1. You think he lands a bunt here, Ernest gets over it, but you know the play's at third. It's 1-1 Bunnekamp shows again. This is fouled, hits McCann. He's down on all fours. He gets caught up under his chest protector there. One and two. So now Sosa has to hit. Can't butt no more. Because if it's a foul, he'll be out. Scenario pitching and hitting for both squads. 2-1 ball game. Baltimore leads, bottom of the 8th inning. 2 on, nobody out. Here's the 1-2. This is hit foul. Lead off, a hold at second. Here's the 1-2. That's up high. It's 2-2. Getting the crowd back into it here in Philadelphia. Game 1 of a 3-game series. Tomorrow, first pitch is at 6:40. Yeah, Kyle Gibson taking on Taijuan Walker. Here's the 2-2. That's up high. It's 3-2. And Mounds visit with McCann and Corum. They figure out what they're going to do here. Phillies fans getting back into it. Down by 1 run. A runner in scoring position, and the winning run, go-ahead run, is at first. Here's a pitch foul. A nice double play will be nice here for Baltimore, wouldn't you say? Fans at the edge of their seat here. Worth the at-bat here. Pitch number 7 coming up. 3-2 payoff pitch. Or pitch number 8, excuse me. This is hit lined right back to third base. A quick throw over to second for Westbrook and a double play. A line hit right back to Ramon Urias and a quick thought, a smart idea to throw right back to second where Westbrook was covering. And he's in there for the out. And we'll see if Phillies decide to challenge, as they know this wasn't out at third. So that's 1 away. And was the throw back at second in there in time? Second base umpire, Dan Merzel, said it. And they're going to go ahead and challenge this. I like to see this all happen so fast. So I could put as a L5 for a line out. And yeah, it looks like an out to me. If you ask me from the different angle that we saw, looks like the ball got into the glove just in time. That was a nice close call, though. And if that's the case, Baltimore just got out of a huge jam. Will be 2 outs and a runner on first. And so they call it. Yep, it was challenged but overturned. So if you're keeping score at home, that was a line L5 and then a 5-4 put out. I put a C for a challenge. And both Philadelphia and Baltimore no longer have challenges. And now Colomb comes back in, as with Bryce Harper at the plate, 2 outs, and you have Rojas at first. First pitch is down low for a ball. And now, if you're looking, Kyle Schwarber's on first. If you're looking at this, the Phillies need to do a couple more than just a base hit. This one's knocked right back up the middle. Schwarber will stay at second, and to make that a 2-hit night for Harper, as now you have the tying run on second again, and the go-ahead run on first. Well, that's a nice little looper right back up the middle. Nick Castellanos steps in, and we're going to go to a pitching change. That'll be it for Danny Colomb. We'll tell you all about the new pitcher coming up next. You guys are listening to Major League Baseball here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. New pitcher as Brian Baker steps in to try to get the last out of this inning as Nick Castellanos steps up. 28-year-old right-hander drafted from the Colorado Rockies back in 2016 from Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Comes into tonight's game 3-3 with a 3.83 ERA. Last game pitched was back on 7/20 in Tampa Bay. That was Friday night. 2/3 of an inning, giving up a hit, a walk, and 1 strikeout. First pitch is in there for a strike. Here's the scenario. Baltimore leads 2-1. Bottom of the 8th inning, 2 outs. A line drive right back to third, a 5-4 put out. You got Schwarber on second, Harper on first. That's a swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Excuse me. Got the 0-2 count. Maybe they got it wrong. I don't know. We'll see. Batters call times. Here's a pitch. That's on the outside for a ball. All right, so it's 1-2 now, the count. They got it right. I'm reading it wrong here. So Schwarber's on second. He's the tying run. Harper's on first. He's the go-ahead run. Here's the 1-2. That's on the outside also. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Do you pitch to Castellanos, who's 0 for 2 with a walk, or do you pitch to Bryson Stott, who's 0 for 3? You pitch around. You pitch around to Castellanos. Don't give him anything to hit. No, sir. 0 for 2. Here's a pitch. 2-2, and it's down low. It's 3-2. I mean, if you miss, you'll load the bases. You go to Bryson Stott, who's struck out, ground out. Philly fans up on their feet. Baltimore trying to get out of this jam. Here's the 3-2. This one's fouled off. Right field side into the crowd. No play. These are the moments you live for. These scenarios, at bats, plays. Fans up on their feet on a 3-2 pitch. Here's the delivery. This is hit. Fly ball into the gap left center field. Schwarber coming around to score. Harper to third. He's coming home. Here's the plant the plate. He's called out. Harper's mistake of going for it. And that the run score. So Schwarber will score. We'll have a tie ball game heading into the 9th inning. But Harper attempted to score on a single out to left center. He think he's safe. Home plate umpire will let her calls it an out. Oh, man. Tie ball game heading into the 9th inning. 2-2 on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. So we head into the 9th inning at Citizens Bank Park, and we are now tied thanks to an RBI single by Nick Castellanos. And Craig Kimball is going to be stepping in as he will be replacing Jeff Hoffman to try to send this Phillies team down to the bottom of the 9th inning tied. He's 6-1 with 16 saves on the record. so far. First pitch is up high, 1-0. And in the 8th inning, Schwarber scored safely. Harper tested it from first to home, and they called him out at home. So the run does count, but that's the last out of the inning. This one's on the outside, 2-1. New batter is Adam Frazier, who replaces Ryan Mountcastle. This is fouled back. Mountcastle has 3 at-bats, 1-1-1. He had 1 RBI, 1 hit, 1 run. That solo home run to put up the Orioles' second run of the game. Jordan Westburg had the first home run of the game. 2 home runs, 2 runs. That's all she wrote for Baltimore. The 2-1s down in there, 2-2. So this is how this programming works. If we do go into extra innings, the game concludes as soon as the game is completed. If there is a winner between in the 9th inning, we will have a post-game show. Just to revise people. I'd like to take this time as a mountain visit. A big shout out to StreamYard Studios, create podcasts, videos, host virtual business meetings, and even conduct interviews. Check out their free version today at StreamYard.com. I'd like to also give a big shout out to Useful Trivia. So caught up in the 8th inning and what was happening for Philadelphia, didn't give you the answer to Baltimore's trivia question. We'll do so in a second. Here's the 2-2. This is fouled up. The question was, which Baltimore Oriole manager was ejected from a record 91 games? 1, Hank Bauer. B, Mike Hargrove. C, Earl Weaver. Or D, Paul Richards. Here's the pitch. This is it. Fly ball out to right field. Castellanos will get to it for out number 1. And I said, hey, A, Hank Bauer. That is not correct. And the correct answer is going to be C, Earl Weaver. During his 17th year tenure as manager of the Baltimore Orioles, Earl Weaver was ejected from a major league record of 91 games. He was twice ejected from the games before they even started, and on 3 separate occasions, he was ejected from both games of a doubleheader. Interesting there. First pitch is outside for a ball for Gunnar Henderson. He's 0 for 3. So if you answered Earl Weaver correctly, congratulations. Here's the 0-1 count. This is fouled off. It is 1-1 to Henderson. Phil is looking to go into the 9th inning, walking things off. Here's the 1-1. That's up high. One's outside. It's 3 balls, 1 strike to Henderson. Jordan Westburg is up next. He's 1 for 3 with the solo home run back in the 2nd inning. It's down low and in. A pitch hitter, Ryan O'Hearn, will replace Westburg. So that night will be done. He's also finishing the game 3-1-1, just like Mountcastle. So a runner on first with 1 away. This one is in there. Check with third base umpire, called for a strike. It was blocked by Stubbs. Here's the 0-1. This gets away from Stubbs. Here, advancing 90 feet is Henderson. That will be a wild pitch there. This one's outside. Just 2 balls, 1 strike now to O'Hearn. Batting .313. A runner on second, 1 away. Here's the pitch. This is chopped right down to second. Stutt gets it, throws it over to first. Make the grab, 2 away. So as we mentioned here, if the game concludes after 9 innings, there is a post-game show. If not, we will just wrap things up and say so long. Be sure to tune us in tomorrow for another 2-hour episode of The Throw-In, giving you covered highlights of the Reds and Brewers game, highlights of Monday Night Raw, and much more. That one's in there. First strike 1 to Cowser. Cowser's 0 for 2. He replaced Hicks back in the 3rd inning on a diving attempt. Made the out. Hurt his leg. Hope he's okay. This is foul. No, out of play. Ground rule double coming in to score is double is Henderson, and Baltimore gets the lead again. This was a diving catch attempt by Kyle Schwarber. Didn't get to it. Almost bounced into the crowd. See this again. I thought for a moment it bounced into the stands, but didn't. It just bounced off the wall. Coming in to score is Henderson. So 3-2, Baltimore leads now. For Ramon Urias, who steps in. Here's the first pitch, is in there, called for a strike. He's 1 for 3 with the strikeout. Baltimore closers warming up. It looks like he's ready to go. This one's fouled off. It's 0-2. I think whoever takes game 1 of this 3-game series really gives themselves an upper advantage. Here's the 0-2. Check swing, check with the first base umpire, no go. So a run scored here in the 9th inning for Baltimore. It's 3-2 Orioles lead. Here's the 2-1-2. A swing and a miss, and that will end the side. But the damage has been done thanks to an RBI double by Colton Coors. Head into the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Phillies as they trail 3-2 here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Leonel Perez will be called for Baltimore to close things out. He has no saves. He's in 36 games. He's 3-1 with a 4.68 ERA as we head into the ninth inning. Baltimore is out front. Baltimore is out front 3-2. Excuse me, I had a mic connection issue. As it's going to be Strutt, Harrison, and Cave called up to finish the game here in the ninth inning. Well, it seems like every time Philadelphia gets a chance to get out to tie the game and equal things up, Baltimore finds a way to get in there. First pitch is in there, called for a strike. Adam Frazier will remain in the game as he will play second base. Ryan O'Hearn will play first base as he will remain in the game as well. Here's the 0-1 is hit. Bounce in front of Mateo at short. Quick throw over, out number one. Coming up in tonight's post-game show, given to you thanks to StreamYard Studios, create podcast videos, host virtual business meetings, and conduct interviews. We will give you highlights and thoughts of the game and out-of-town scoreboard and a look at tomorrow's game as Game 2 continues in this series. 2 of 3. 3 will conclude on Wednesday. Stepping in is Josh Harrison. He's 0 for 4. And first pitch is in there, called for a strike. Here's the 0-1. This is hit. Fly ball out to right field to Santander, and that's out number 2. Alec Bohm will pitch hit for Jake Cave as he's the potential last out of the game. Alex Bohm, 277, 9 home runs. First pitch down in the dirt. It's 1-0. Philadelphia, I think if, this was a close game, a nice pitching duel through and through, I think it was Philadelphia who made the most errors, and that's why we see where it's at right now, as this one is down low for a ball, 2-0. And this is the perfect example of, all right, you're making, you're going to lose the game based off of, errors. This one's swinging and a miss. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the 2-1. That's inside, called for a strike. It's 2-2. Baltimore looked to a 3-game winning streak here. Philadelphia looking to pick up game 1 at home. Here's the 2-2. That gets away. It's 3-2. Everyone standing up at Citizens Bank Park here tonight. Here's the payoff pitch. This is hit right past Mateo at short, deflected off of him, and Hayes will run up and grab it, keeping Bohm at first. You just put this ball in play. and you allow the rest to happen. Nice diving attempt by Mateo. And now a pitching mound visit to see how things are going to go with this next batter, as they will rely on JT Realmuto. So the tying run is on first, and the winning run is on second. Here's the first pitch to Realmuto. That's down low, ball one. Perez sets, deals. It's in there for a called strike. So with 2 outs, a runner on first. Here's the pitch. That's in low, 2-1. You pitch around Realmuto, you'll get Rojas up next. He's 2 for 3. This is fouled back. And then you get back to the top of the lineup. Here's the 2-2. That's outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He said Rojas up next, flew out, singled, 2 singles. Fans up on their feet. Another 3-2 pitch. That's up high, and Realmuto draws himself a walk. Realmuto will be on first. Bohm will be on second. So the go-ahead and winning run is on base. I don't know if you're going to attempt to throw Realmuto out there, but anything hit into the outfield, Bohm is going. 2 stolen bases from Rojas tonight. It's on the outside, called for a strike. Hands up on their feet. Here's the 0-1. This is hit right down the short. Mateo will underhand it to second, and that will end the ball game. Baltimore holds on to win. A couple of bloops in a blast. They take game 1 of a 3-game series. We'll come on back and tell you all about it. Final score, Baltimore 3, Philadelphia 2. You listen to Major League Baseball on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Well, a very, very, very nice ball game here tonight on the throw on TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. It was really a pitching duel between two starting pitchers of Dean Kremer and Cristopher Sanchez, both going into the seventh inning with their respects, and it was just lightly scored, and I think that's what type of ball game you need once in a while. A very quick game, a couple home runs here left and right for Baltimore. On the other hand, Philadelphia just kept on trying to come back, and it wasn't enough. A diving attempt by Kyle Schwarber there in the ninth inning to score in the third run for Baltimore. Baltimore will take game one of a 3-game series. They extend their lead to a 3-game winning streak as they head into game 2 tomorrow. You guys could check out the game available on MLB TV. You could also watch the game on MASN2 in Baltimore or Philadelphia NBC SP. Listen to it on 98 Rock FM /HD2 on 97.9 or WBAL News Radio FM /AM or Philadelphia's 94 WIP or WTTM 1680. Tomorrow's pitching lineup here. First pitch is scheduled for 6:40. Baltimore's right-handed pitcher Kyle Gibson. He's 9 for 6 with the 4.76 ERA. As Philadelphia's Taijuan Walker 11 and 4, 4.11 ERA. That will conclude tonight's ball game. Coming up next is the post-game show. Thank you guys for tuning in to Major League Baseball here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Alrighty, well, welcome back here to tonight's post-game show, given to you thanks to StreamYard Studios, great podcast, videos, host virtual business meetings, and conduct interviews. Check out their free version today at StreamYard.com. Well, Baltimore picked up game 1 of a 3-game series. Final score, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors to Philadelphia's 2 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors. Winning pitcher is Baker, who went to 4-3 with a 3.79 ERA. Craig Kimbrell picks up the loss. He moves to 6-2. Perez picks up his first save of the season, and in a game that was mainly all about, I'm going to be honest, and I would say was mainly all about being, defensive power. 2 starting pitchers in Kremer and in, just trying to get everything lined up here. In Kremer and Sanchez, they both went 7 innings, had a really good outings, in my opinion. And it was down to who made the final mistakes. And we saw that out of Colton Cowser hitting that go-ahead double out to center, to left field diving attempt by Kyle Schwarber. All right, scoring drives here of the game, leading things off top of the second inning. Jordan Westburg home runs, his first home run on the season on a fly ball to right field, giving Baltimore out front 1-0. Later on, at the bottom of the 5th inning, Kyle Schwarber flies out to sacrifice fly in center field. Garrett Stubbs scores in to tie the game 1 apiece. Top of the 6th inning, Ryan Mountcastle hits his 12th home run on the season to straightaway center field. Baltimore up 2-1. Bottom of the 8th inning, Nick Castellanos sings on a line drive to center field. Kyle Schwarber scores, and on a Bryce Harper attempt to score, he gets thrown out at home by center fielder Colton Cowser and Jorge Materio. But this ties the game at 2 apiece. Top of the 9th inning, Colton Cowser doubles, his first double on the season. A line drive to left field, diving attempt by Kyle Schwarber, scores in Henderson, and Baltimore goes on to hold the victory 3-2. Final line score team comparisons. Baltimore has 3 runs, 5 hits, 2 home runs, 12 total bases, no stolen bases, 4 left on base with no errors. Philadelphia, 2 runs, 5 hits, no home runs, 7 total bases, 2 stolen bases, 7 left on base, and 2 errors. Top performers of the game, you have Kremer, who went 7 innings, giving up 3 hits, 1 run allowed, 3 strikeouts. Sanchez went 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs allowed, and 8 strikeouts. Mountcastle went 1 for 3 with a home run and an RBI. And if you had to choose a player of the game, I'd choose Mountcastle, to be honest with me. First game of the series belongs to the Baltimore Orioles. Coming up next is your out-of-town scoreboard. You're listening to Major League Postgame Show here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Welcome back here on tonight's post-game show, given to you thanks to Major League Baseball, MLB.com, where you can check up on your scores, highlights, news, everything, you name it. Check out all your updates on MLB.com. All right, conclusion game so far, only 3 is in the books. San Francisco Giants fall short to the Tigers 5-1 earlier today. That was a makeup game back to April 6th. We have tonight's final score between the Orioles and the Phillies 3-2. The Orioles beat the Guardians 5-3 final. Top of the 9th inning, the Rockies are beating the Nationals 8-4. Minnesota Twins have a 2-1 lead over the Seattle Mariners. The Rangers are in the top of the 5th inning with leading 6-4 over the Astros. The Cincinnati Reds have a 2-1 lead over the Brewers in the bottom of the 5th inning. A game starting to warm up here, getting underway. Pirates and Padres, Cardinals and D-backs. And final game coming up later on tonight is the Toronto Blue Jays and the Dodgers. All right, coming up tomorrow in tomorrow's game between these two ball clubs, we will have first pitch is at 6:40. Kyle Gibson, who's 9-6, goes to 4.76 ERA, will take on Taijuan Walker, 11-4 with the 4.11 ERA in game 2 of a 3-game series. Lots being said and done. Very nice, simple game. Hopefully everything's okay with Aaron Hicks after he was relieved from his the game with the injury. Trey Turner gets ejected from the game. It was a tough game through and through. That's it for tonight's Pros Game Show. Stay tuned. Tune in tomorrow for the throw-in right here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. You guys have a great afternoon. Talk to you later.